Hello students and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video and share it with your friends to help them too. We are diving deep into the English core syllabus and today's focus is on the heart-wrenching story Lost Spring by Anees Jung. This chapter explores the plight of children trapped in the vicious cycle of poverty and exploitation and how their dreams and childhood are stolen away. So let's get started. In this video, we'll cover the detailed summary, themes, reference to context, literary devices, probable questions, common errors. All of this is designed to help you master Lost Spring for your exams. So let's jump right in. Let's start with a detailed summary of Lost Spring. The story is divided into two parts, both depicting different aspects of child labor and poverty. In the first part, titled Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage, we meet Saheb, a rat picker who lives in a slum near Delhi called Simapuri. Saheb's family migrated from Dhaka in search of a better life, but they were only met with poverty. Saheb spends his day searching through piles of garbage, hoping to find something valuable. Despite his harsh life, Saheb dreams of going to school, but his family's financial situation forces him into child labor instead. Ironically, Saheb's name, Saheb-e-Alam, means Lord of the Universe, reflects his lost potential. When he starts working at a tea stall, his situation doesn't improve much. Though he earns a regular income, he loses his independence and his childhood joy. His small momentary joys like finding a rupee are his only escape. In the second part, we are introduced to Mukesh, a boy from Firozabad, a town famous for its bangle making industry. Mukesh comes from a family where making bangles is a tradition passed down through generations. However, this work is not only physically demanding but also dangerous, as the children risk losing their eyesight due to exposure to molten glass. Despite his family's belief that bangle making is their destiny, Mukesh dreams of becoming a motor mechanic. Unlike Saheb, he is determined to escape his circumstances. He is an example of resilience, striving to break the cycle of poverty and exploitation. Both parts illustrate the devastating impact of poverty on children's lives, as well as their dreams for a better future, which are often hindered by social and economic constraints. Now, let's dive into the themes of Lost Spring, which are crucial for understanding the deeper meanings of the story. The story strongly portrays how poverty forces children into labor, robbing them of their childhood and education. Saheb and Mukesh represents the millions of children trapped in similar situations. Poverty is the root cause of exploitation in both cases. Saheb and Mukesh both lose their innocence. Instead of enjoying their childhood, they are burdened with adult responsibilities. The story illustrates how these children are deprived of their basic rights and opportunities. Both Saheb and Mukesh have dreams of a better life. Saheb wants to go to school while Mukesh dreams of becoming a motor mechanic. However, both are shackled by the harsh realities of their lives and their dreams remain unfulfilled due to the overwhelming force of poverty. In the second part of the story, Mukesh's dream represents the desire to break free from the traditional cycle of labor. His family's belief in their destiny to make bangles highlights how generations can be trapped in poverty because of societal norms and lack of opportunities. Next, let's look at important quotes from Lost Spring which you can use for reference in your exam answers. Here are some key quotes and their significance. This metaphor symbolizes how rat pickers like Saheb find survival and fleeting joys in the trash heaps that others discard. This line highlights the small momentary joys in Saheb's otherwise harsh life and how poverty forces him to see value in trash. This contrasts the dire poverty of Simapuri with the wealth of Delhi, symbolizing the disparity between dreams and reality. Saheb's unfulfilled dreams reflect the harsh realities of poverty which keeps his aspirations out of reach. This quote reflects how Mukesh's family is resigned to their fate, bound by generational poverty and societal constraints. This line emphasizes the generational trap of bangle making and the lack of opportunity for the people of Firozabad. Used metaphorically, this line represents aspirations and freedom that remain out of reach for the people stuck in the cycle of poverty. This line symbolizes the exploitation of children whose lives are sacrificed to sustain the bangle industry. This vividly portrays the physical and emotional scars of those trapped in bangle making, reflecting the pain of exploitation. Mukesh's determination to become a motor mechanic symbolizes hope and the courage to break free from the cycle of poverty. This line reflects the intergenerational despair in Firozabad, where change seems impossible. This conveys the oppressive environment that stifles dreams and ambitions in the bangle-making town. This highlights how relentless labor under exploitative conditions leaves workers hopeless and devoid of motivation. This line contrasts Saheb's desire for dignity with his poverty, showing his attempts to cling to a semblance of normalcy. Mukesh's dream of becoming a motor mechanic represents resilience and hope, defying societal and familial expectations. Remember to connect each quote with themes, characters, and the larger message of the story when answering questions. Now, let's look at some literary devices used by Anees Jung in Law Spring. Metaphor. The concept of garbage being compared to gold is a metaphor for the impoverished condition of Saheb and others like him who find value in trash as a means of survival. Irony. There's a strong element of irony in the story, especially in Saheb's name, Saheb-e-Alam, which means Lord of the Universe. Despite this grand name, he lives a life of poverty and labor. Symbolism. The bangle making industry in Firozabad symbolizes generational poverty, as families are stuck in the same work for generations, unable to break free from the cycle. Contrast. The contrast between the carefree childhood of most children and the burdened lives of Saheb and Mukesh underscores the main theme of the story. Now let's move on to some probable questions for your exams, both short and long, along with key value points. Let's now quickly go over some common errors students make when writing answers on Law Spring. Avoid just focusing on child labor. The story also highlights lost childhood dreams versus reality and societal norms. Always back up your answers with quotes from the text. Reference to context will strengthen your answer. Don't miss out on the irony in Saheb's name and the contrast between his dreams and his life's reality. Here is a concise list of keywords and phrases from Law Spring, which you can use in your answers. These words and phrases encapsulate the chapter's key ideas, themes, and character struggles, making them essential for revision or analysis. And here are some tips to write perfect answers for this chapter. Now that you have all the tips to write perfect answers for Law Spring, it's time to put them into practice and ace your exams. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content on your English core syllabus. Share this video with your friends so they can ace their exams too. If you have any questions or need further clarification, drop them in the comments below. I'm here to help. Best of luck with your studies and I'll see you in the next video. Keep learning, keep growing.